Hello.
Hello.
Welcome.
Welcome to the show.
Yes. It's been a while.
It has been.
So we are sitting around in the sanctuary on this lovely, cool Monday.
Yeah. It is very cool. It's actually supposed to be very unseasonably cool, and that kind of gives us a taste of the next couple months to come, which are the hardest that we find to get through during the year because of the cold and just being kind of inside your head and inside the house, and it's just cold and dreary.
Oh, the keys are out. Joni.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's the darker part of the year, and this is when the seasonal depression like kicks in for people. So, it's just the start of it, and you can feel that battle, that energy, because it's a collective energy, and everybody feels it. Some people deal way better with it than others. So we talked about that because we've been working on our mind, body, everything, to link up, and working on our body and losing weight and getting healthy, and our mental state, you're always progressing over time if you allow yourself and healing parts of yourself.
Yeah, and if you find that you revert back a little bit, just don't beat yourself up too much about it. Just acknowledge it and change that as soon as you realize that you've reverted back.
Yeah.
And it's as simple as that, and that's how you heal it. That repetitiveness over time, if needed, is what gets us to where we need to be,
Yeah.
And again, it is repetitive because we all know that if you don't learn that lesson, then spirit pops it right back around to you. And it gets harder and harder each time. But if you respond to it in a more positive manner, then it don't seem like such a huge deal, and you can get through it and you can change it. Acknowledge, yeah, I slipped back, or I'm facing this again for a specific reason, and try to figure out what that reason might be,
Just being mindful of yourself.
Yeah, exactly. And then once you're mindful, then you can start to truly heal things and change.
So part of this season coming in, and I know you guys are listening, struggle the same, what we're talking about, you totally get it because everybody goes through that. But the challenge is to keep yourself in a higher vibrational state, and that is surrounding yourself with things, especially your mindset, not just outside material things, but your mindset.
Yeah.
It is putting yourself in a routine, a good routine, like exercise or whatever it may be, music, something that really makes you vibrate and move, and that helps a lot. Movement helps a lot.
It does, and it's all inclusive in the secret, and in manifesting things. I mean, if you are truly on a level where you're manifesting, then typically you will have that daily routine. You'll have those positive markers in your life going, that keeps you on track. And I found that out with like the eating and everything too. If you get into a routine with your eating, and you know this, you intermittent fasting, you quit, or not even necessarily that, but just don't eat after a certain time of the evening,
Restraint.
Then you'll start to see, restraint, and that develops pattern, right?
Yeah.
So for whatever reason, we're a pattern-driven race of people, we like stability, we like things to happen the same way over and over, which you don't get the luxury of that if you're working on yourself and
if you're on this
going
path,
on this spiritual
and you're this
path.
Far along,
No, because we know how
repetitiveness becomes
uncomfortable
very
that is.
comfortable, and you have to be uncomfortable to be able to move.
Exactly.
So that's why we don't do good with repetitiveness, like a job, a 9 to 5 job.
So it's kind of like a good balance in between that we need to strive for.
It's keeping yourself active, and it's important, very important. I was also sitting here thinking while you was talking that the darker side of the year, the reason we struggle so much with that, with the depression, seasonal depression, and this is not what the medical community would tell you, but spiritually, that's when you are stuck inside. You have to slow down, and you have to deal with your shit. They're laying in there on the counter. I kept them out.
Oh, well, yeah.
It's where you're having to deal with your shit.
Absolutely.
So that's why. So coming into this year, and it happens to me every year, and it's been already different this year. We put it out there so much in intentions that we were going to be healthy, mentally, physically, through it all, because the truth is there's always going to be the seasons of change, and through them changes we have to be okay with every one of them and still be the same person and not let that change our emotions.
We have to embrace it, because it's going to happen whether we want it to or not, because we can't control destiny, right? I mean, there's things that we can do to tilt it one way or the other, but it's going to do what it do. So we got to just let go of our need for control and give in a little bit on that. And not necessarily give up control, but just to accept the things that you can't change about the situation. Because if you don't, then you're just going against the grain anyway. Right?
When we, I forgot what I was going to talk about.
Things have been going freaking amazing. We were talking about how once you get that momentum started, this year's been a lot better. Mentally, we're getting our shit together, body-wise.
It was something.
Sorry. I was trying to jog it.
It's okay. I lost it. Wasn't meant to say. But yeah, it is. It's the good things are coming in, and that manifestation is coming in, and it's important to know that. I know what I was going to say, is that even through the changes, like we've talked about this before, was how every year everybody bitches about the snow. Everybody knows it's coming. It's never going to change.
No.
So we bitch about the cold, we bitch about the hot, we bitch about
it all. We
salty
about it
too.
We
do. And
we sulk.
It's so mundane.
We sulk inside like, I hate that cold weather.
I'm afraid it coming. So what about changing your mindset about it? Because I'm telling you right now, I'm guilty. Dallas is guilty.
Oh God, yeah.
Everybody is guilty of doing this, but what about this challenge to ourselves? And we try to catch ourselves all the time, and that's healing, and that's great, and it's okay to admit that you're not perfect, because nobody is, but it's to catch yourself and say, through this, I'm still going to be a high vibing person, and whatever you got to do to that vibration. So don't be mindful of all that, because that's how you change and get out of the masses.
Right. We've had some really cool things going on right now, and we'll talk about this, our major thing that's happening next month. We're going to talk about that shortly, but I want to talk about the investigations that we've been doing and how we've been approaching that. You guys know we've been out of the paranormal for a while.
Yes.
We stepped back because we've lost interest in having to put all the work into trying to prove something that's never going to sway one way or the other. It
was a path.
It was a path it was one of our stepping stones, I should say. I still have a love for it deep down, all that good stuff.
Not paranormal.
Right. No. Not like setting up the cameras, doing the ED piece. No. We've started approaching it differently, and we've been able to start working with a crew locally, the Crypto Crew, and that's with
CryptoCrew.com.
Yeah, CryptoCrew.com, and that's with Thomas Markham and Tony Veloci, Jennifer Fugit, Bonnie Schaub,
all kinds of other people that are on board with there, and they have many different things going on. So we are actually, I think, the first that I know of to be coming into this crew with such a spiritual outtake on it.
Right.
So we go in as spiritual advisors to haunted locations, and dream job for us, because we just like being able to go in and blind, tell the people if it's residential, what's wrong, and this is how you can fix it, and educate people.
Right, and we've been getting to do new experiments and testing our abilities, and what's really cool is we've done 2 locations with them now, and we've been like dead on with the energy, of course, because we've learned how to read energies pretty well over the years, but it's learning to have more confidence in yourself to say what you're getting and feeling, and not have to worry about it being wrong or anything like that. It's that same old thing. But the cool thing is we're doing these what we call deprivation sessions, and it's similar to like the ears.
I think they call it Estes
method, putting on the canceling.
See, before I even knew about that, I was doing this.
Right. So instead of using a ghost box or the little digital thing that they have that creates the noise, we use our own senses and our own abilities, and we say what comes to us, and we channel that energy, right?
Yeah.
So it's been really cool, very spot on in certain circumstances, and we've had some cool things happen with it. But you can find that on Tubi. Just search for Zombie Media, I think is what it's called.
Yeah, these won't be out until the episodes we're on won't be out until 2023.
Yeah, right, yeah. But if you want to check out their stuff,
I don't know, they got all kinds of streaming services they stream through. So I'm not. Tubi is one of them, I think.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, Zombie Media.
Zombie Media, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. You can find it on Tubi for sure, and then there's several others. They're on in 500 countries.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry, the dog is doing something silly here.
I love it.
It got me.
Yeah.
What?
No, we're recording for
we're
Contact
recording.
Buzz.
I got that dog tickled us.
Yeah. So what do we have coming up now?
So this is kind of cool. This is something that I am not familiar with anybody doing, which, I mean, I know, you know how that goes. I'm sure people are somewhere out there in the world are doing this, and I haven't been familiar with it. But gallery reading coming up, which I know what you're saying. I'm not saying that it's a normal gallery reading here. I'm talking about this is a shamanic journey. This is going to be me and Holly in a gallery reading setting in Norton, Virginia for the very first time that I'm aware of in this area. But we will be doing readings, and we do them a little different than most people that are psychic mediums. It's not going to be the traditional mediumship reading. It's going to be a very shamanic-led reading. And with shamanism, what we do is we walk in the depths with people, and we help them on their spiritual path any way that we can, metaphysically, or physically, if it comes down to it. But anyway, so we're taking a different approach on the gallery reading. We're going to tell them what spirit tells us to tell them, whether it's a dead loved one that might possibly come through, but most of the time it's going to be something that you need to work on within yourself, or something that's happened traumatic to you that you need to try to heal, things to that effect. So I think it's going to be a very beautiful experience. How would you put that into your words?
So, a gallery reading is a setting with a group of people. Like, it could be 50, it could be 25, it could be 30. And we just walk and read the room. And just whatever energy comes through, we convey it. And whether that's a dead loved one or entities or whatever it is, we're hardcore. I mean, there's no boundaries. If you guys have sat down with us, then you know we're non-filtered. We don't come at it in a way where you feel like we're trying to hurt your feelings. It's very respectful.
It's just self-love.
It is. And if you want to grow, honey, you got to move. You can't budge. But anyway,
we can't sugarcoat it for you. If you're going to really, truly grow, it's uncomfortable, and it might be uncomfortable to hear.
Right, and it's like being in a friendship and your friend not, telling you what you want to hear just to make you feel better.
Yeah,
so they don't get
exactly. So why would you're not doing anybody a favor by that.
That is not a healthy friendship, and it never will be.
No.
But anyway, so the gallery reading, a first time in Norton ever that we are aware of a gallery reading. And so it is in the old Virginia Opry Theater.
Yeah.
And it's now called Norton, Cinema.
Park City.
Park Avenue.
Park Avenue.
I don't know. It's hard for us because we think of it as the Opry.
Yeah.
Park
Avenue Theater.
Yeah.
So we'd love to see you guys out there if we get this episode out in time. But, if we don't, but we'll see you there. Whether you're meant to, if you're meant to be there, you will be there. But the theater holds 145 seats, and we're hoping to sell that bitch out. We want to really start getting our message out there to people, and that can be done through gallery readings or through the meditative painting sessions that we've started, where we allow people to channel their energy in paintings, or where spirit channels through, and it's beautiful. But there's all these facets that we've got to try to use to reach as many people as we can. To help as many people as we can.
Yeah, and it's weird because we were just talking about it. We have been trying our best to get into some deep meditation, and we're not able to. However, we are putting ourselves more out there because we had to get over the fact that we were protecting ourselves too hard. And we know what our job is on this earthly plane in this lifetime, and it is to teach. And, you know, it is also to learn. You know, we're always the student, always the teacher, master of neither, but it is teaching everything that you have learned. And because not everybody has opened themselves up to know that they're able to access that information, you know.
Absolutely.
So the painting classes was amazing that we had. I don't know, we ain't talked about that either.
No, we haven't.
So sitting down with them, everybody's painting freely what they want from their soul, and we have conversations with them. So we have it's like a spiritual counseling session. So it goes way deeper,
and it goes way quickly too.
Yeah.
Before I knew it, I was still like midway through my painting, and everybody was finishing up.
Yeah.
We were just so lost in conversation and the motions and the meditation. It was beautiful.
Yeah, and then we went by the fire and we sit and had a good conversation.
A circle afterwards, yeah. Absolutely. And a good conversation about breaking boundaries of religion and things like that. So if you do want to come to one of our meditative painting classes, you can do that. We're going to set up times throughout the year, and you can look for us on Appalachian Spiritual Retreats. Of course, you guys all know that. But it's something that you really truly get a lot out of, and it's the same with our retreats. And what we do is create a space that is completely judgment free, completely at peace, where we give each person the floor, allow them to say whatever it is they need to say, and they know always that they are not being judged, that they can be comfortable with us. And we get that a lot just by random people in our readings in the shop. They know that they can trust us with whatever it is that they need to say.
Speaking of readings at the shop, Dallas stepped out of the reading closet.
Oh, yeah, I sure did. It was busy as hell this past weekend because it's the spooky season. We're in mid-October. That was more toward the first of the month, but still everybody's excited about Halloween and all this and that. So there was a ton of people there, and Tanya was being overwhelmed in the shop, and I was like, well, I wasn't like, Tanya was like, hey, do you want to step in and do some readings? And I'm the type of person, I'm a Capricorn, I know how it is working, running things or whatever. So I had to jump in and help, right? So I've been ready for a long while. I've just been putting it off because you know how that goes.
Yeah, it's hard to step out the first time.
Which I did readings. We've done readings together at the psychic parties and stuff, but never in a separate room.
Yeah, by yourself.
So I took readings in a separate room, and it was really cool.
Yeah.
There was only one that she was a hard nut to crack, but you know how that goes.
Yeah.
But I mean, it went super great. I ended up doing 6 readings. I think Holly done 7 or so.
Yeah.
So if we'd waited and done them all together, then we'd have been there all day. Yeah, it would have been. Yeah. So it worked out great, and it was cool to get to again impact people on their spiritual path. And a couple of those that I read for really needed what we were talking about. I feel like.
And that's the thing that people need to realize is as psychics, it's just not about being psychic. It's because you hear psychic, you think of your fortune, your love life, your wealth, whatever it is. That's not true. And yes, there's some people out there that do that, but I've never felt drawn to be that. It's just whatever comes, whatever spirit wants you to know at that time. And that is more important to you and more vital in your life that you'll ever know, because them are moments in time where someone can tell you what you need to be mindful of and what you need to change in your life. And that's what our readings are about.
It's beautiful. 9 times out of 10 they are very receptive, and because it's such a pure and authentic exchange.
And it's not filtered.
Right, exactly.
I ain't worried about your feelings.
No.
I'm going to talk to you like I'm your mother.
Yeah, because that's that's part of the shamanic path.
It is.
It
is showing this is it, I'm talking to you, this is spirit, I'm talking to you, telling you that you need to straighten your shit up, or this is what you need to know, and it's okay, like certain things that, especially here in the Appalachians, that nobody's ever talked about, gets talked about in our sessions.
So when I gave into the calling, I knew wholeheartedly that I was going to use every facet that I could to help as many people as possible. So it's cool how we get to use things like the readings or the gallery reading that we're going to be doing, or the meditation painting that we've done to actually...
And the retreats.
Of course the retreats. I mean, my God,
blogs,
I'm not just saying it because it's us,
lives.
But it's been such beautiful experiences that people have made lasting connections with other people that they would have never gotten to otherwise.
Yeah.
But it's such a feeling of camaraderie and support and overwhelming love and peace there.
Yeah, and I think what people need to realize too is like there's no money in this. No.
No, we've not really made the first dime. We've been doing it just breaking even.
Right, and with everything we do, it's like it's enough right now. Yeah. And don't get me wrong, we are blessed with some very awesome people who donate to the sanctuary, to us.
Yes.
It helps because, like, as for me, this is my lifestyle. You know, this is how
this is what we do.
Yeah, I'll be right back with my battery.
Oh, you're fine. But yeah, it's really cool to be able to take those connections and carry those with you, you know. We've had, like I said, some very beautiful experiences when we've made some lasting connections that during our networking we have to shit. I just totally fucked up.
Oh, what happened?
Oh, you'll listen. You'll have to hear it. I was talking and I just I lost it. I just lost it.
It's okay. I'm back.
Wait, it's so funny. It's embarrassing, but hey, y'all have heard worse from me if you're close.
I love it. This is what Contact Buzz is about.
This is what it's about, and I wouldn't have it any other way. And I'm not ashamed.
I love it.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of not being ashamed, Holly just recently celebrated her 38th birthday, and we got out on the town a couple days later, and went to her old stomping grounds, and I had been there years and years ago. It was a place called Summit City in Whitesburg, and we did karaoke, and I haven't done karaoke since I was like 21 years old, and I'm 39 now. So I didn't know how I was going to handle it on stage or whatever, but it didn't even affect me. I went out there, we sung our hearts out. It was beautiful. We had a blast.
Yeah.
It was so cool to see that growth and change inside myself, you know, and confidence, and that's what self-love looks like, you know.
Exactly. I love that. And that's when people talk, these people who are motivators and stuff like that, they don't talk about stuff like this. They don't talk about, hey, I am still healing myself and this is what my accomplishment was. This is, you know, look back on what you overcame.
Yeah, exactly. You know, and stage fright.
Talk about it. Stage fright's a huge thing.
Yeah, it is. And I had little bit of stage fright when I was in high school. I did drama or whatever, so I got over that pretty quickly, but it laid dormant for quite a long time.
Yeah.
Now, I've had jobs where I've had to speak in front of other employees and stuff like that, and I would get a little intimidated, but you know, that one night at the karaoke when I was 21 or whatever, it was a very sloppy, very shitty job that I'd done, but I got up there and I did it. I faced my fear. But this time was completely different. It wasn't even like the audience was out there. So I thought it was going to be a good way to break the ice to do it. You know, because with the gallery reading, we have potential for 145 people to be there. And I think I'm going to be just fine, you know.
Exactly.
And I've spoken in front of crowds and stuff before, but this one's different. This is special. It's
speaking and singing is a whole lot different.
Yeah, speaking and singing is a whole lot different. And also reading, you know. It's cool.
Yeah. Shit. I love it.
But we saw some people that we hadn't seen in a very long time at Summit the other night. It was cool.
Oh, God.
It was cool. We didn't know what the vibe was going to be like because we can read a room like none other. And that's basically what we did out on the patio all night was read people. And at the bartender, you know, whatever. We were reading that whole place. But it's cool getting to work the room and feel the vibe out because we didn't know what to expect where it had been so long since we've been there. We figured not much had changed, and really it hadn't.
No,
so
it's different, mostly different people, but the same vibe because that bar is the Bar of Misfits, which is why I always loved going there. It was that's where I done a lot of my little soul searching. I went to the bar almost every weekend. I done karaoke nights, and then I just would go just to go
Yeah.
on weekends. It helped me get through a lot in my life, but also I hung around some of these characters.
They are characters, and they're really cool characters.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
hopefully some of them will be listening. We
Yeah.
actually talked about Contact Buzz out there the other night.
We did.
We met this one gentleman that calls himself the Wizard, and he was
Yeah.
interesting. He had a
Yeah.
lot to say, and then an old friend of yours,
Yeah.
he had a lot to say, and it was cool. We got to stand outside and partake in a circle of sorts. That's all I'll say.
Yeah.
And,
Like a plant medicine circle.
yeah, and then just enjoy the evening in conversation. Again, I thought it was cool because they were so thirsty and they were picking our brains. And
Yeah.
their energies got interlocked with ours, and it was cool.
And that's
And
how
that happens for us in every setting that we go to. You
Yeah,
know?
and when I used to go back there in the day, that's where I was. I was on the back porch, and I'd tell Dallas all these stories.
Yeah.
And then, because we didn't get to go together or anything, so
It's cool to talk about spirituality because people's ideas of spiritualism is very different from
they
person
are.
to person.
Yeah, ours.
So you get to hear all kinds of interesting stories that
Yeah.
people tell you about. One guy that guy that I was talking to about creating his own deity and all that. The energies are out there
Yeah.
because the energies are what people interact with when they know them as a certain entity, such as God or like Zeus, whatever.
Right.
They each emit such as
It's
a
an
different type of
in-between
energy,
deity.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, so the gods that they create
Yeah.
are the ones that are in between deity.
Right.
And to the higher, which I call spirit, some people call creator, some people call the divine, whatever you
Yeah.
want to call the consciousness, whatever,
It's
higher consciousness.
exactly. And the thing is, it's cool. I never expected that I'd ever stand outside on the porch of a bar at Whitesburg, Kentucky,
Yeah.
and talk about creating a deity with somebody, So that's
Yeah.
really cool how people have become so open to
Yeah.
the possibility of things, you
Yeah.
know.
Then
And-
they tell you the stories. Like I know that Aaron, I'll say his name,
Yeah.
was talking about seeing. I don't know, some of his personal experiences into the paranormal.
Oh yeah, right.
The more
Yeah.
cost things.
Yeah, we got to. It's cool. How often do you get to sit and have conversations like that with people? A lot of times
I take
they
it for
either
granted.
don't get it or they're talking about something completely different. Yeah.
They don't. They understand you, but it's kind of like you make their gears.
It's because the spiritual blindness. Sometimes
Yeah.
you're talking about this stuff and people
Yeah.
just don't get it, right?
Yeah.
But these guys were receptive. They are receptive.
That's
to
why I
it.
loved it there.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Yeah, but I can't handle the energy too much there anymore,
Yeah.
like I used to be able
Well,
to.
I mean, it's something you needed at the time.
Yeah.
And you grew from that.
Yeah, because
So-
most of the people there are very, they're in their trauma.
Yeah, they are, and that's 90% of the bars out there.
Yeah.
People go because they're in their trauma,
Uh-huh.
and you got to heal that shit.
Yeah.
I
We are
just
going to go
would-
to open mic night though.
Yeah, we are. We're actually going to create a set list and everything. It's going to be really
Heck
awesome.
yeah, and we got a new song.
Yeah,
working
we're in
on.
the process of perfecting.
Yeah.
It's going to be good. Let me tell you. When we decide to go to open mic night, you guys better book your tickets.
Oh, we're going to actually, our friends Donnie and Lindsay are coming in this weekend, coming up, and we're going to meet up in Harlan, Kentucky with Tony and them, and we're going to investigate the courthouse and the jailhouse, old jailhouse down there.
Yeah.
And I know the investigation part. What we mean by that is we're going to put our spiritual aspect to it.
It's really
I can't wait for that. I'm going to make sure that we have some headphones on, and that'd be cool.
Yeah, I agree.
It's always fun. We have.
It's re-sparked an interest for me.
Yeah, good.
Because we get to try new things and we get to exercise our abilities that we've perfected or honed in on or worked on, I should
Yeah,
say.
because we hadn't been stepped into the paranormal like that.
It had been
in a bit.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
had
in a
been a
bit.
minute.
Like since the last 2 years.
Yeah,
I mean, this is the
right.
first time we've delved into it like
It
we
was,
have.
yeah.
Now, mind you, in the paranormal, that's what we did. Like
Yeah.
mainly residential cases,
Yeah.
is we're helping people. It wasn't for fun; it was to help people.
Mhm.
And this is the same thing, and it's also still fun. For us, it's more fun for me now than it was back in the paranormal.
Yeah, because we don't have all the stress of the equipment
exactly,
and all that
other
shit,
stuff. Yeah,
which
I
is
like
cool.
Just being able to do my thing and walk
Me
out.
too,
This
me
house has
too.
been cleansed.
Exactly. Bless you, sister. Have a good day.
Like, just bulldoze it, you'll be all right. No, I'm joking.
If people could just get up out of that repression, but it's hard.
It's hard because they can't. They're stubborn, and their ego won't allow them. They don't want to admit that they're wrong in anything, and that their ego, man. I can't say that enough. And
well, they
no matter how
use
much
it
they try to
as they
shake
hold
people,
it like it's their purse or something.
Yeah.
They guard it.
Yeah.
They don't want to let it go because it gets them.
Who they want to be.
It's they're feeding that repression is what they're doing.
Yeah, it is their protection of self. Like,
it's their masks.
Yeah,
If they didn't have their trauma, what would they be? It's a scary thought, but guess what? You are more than your trauma. Let me tell you. And if you could just learn to work through that trauma, it would be a lot less painful.
Yep. Agreed. I love it.
That's part of what we're doing in the gallery reading and stuff too, is giving people information that they can take with them and use and actually truly heal, because guess what? We've done this. We've healed ourselves, so we know how it works.
Yeah. It's beautiful.
I wish we could give people the gift of knowing.
Yeah, but if you think about it, them people, we can't make anybody see, but we can help the people that are awake.
Yeah, absolutely.
And as frustrating as it is, because when you want to save someone, you want to save everyone. But Spirit told us, don't feel bad for leaving people behind.
Yes,
and some people attach themselves so closely to you, it's almost like a leech,
they drain your energy.
They drain your energy, and it's hard because when you're a very compassionate and loving person and have a big heart, you can't just drop people off and just be mean to them.
Right.
And sometimes people take advantage of that.
They do, unfortunately.
So
and shame on them.
Yeah.
Because it makes you have to feel like an asshole, even though you're not, because you're protecting your energy and you're putting up boundaries.
And people don't understand boundaries at all.
And people don't understand. Yeah. If I go quiet for a couple days and you ain't heard much from me, don't freak out. I promise everything's still okay. It's just me regrouping and gathering my energy and protecting myself,
Yeah.
So don't be offended or anything like that. It's just we're working through some shit. If I ever go quiet on you, I'm working through some shit. I can guarantee it.
Yeah, no matter
and
what
I'll come
it looks
back
like
to
on
you,
Facebook
and you've
or
not
social
done a
media.
damn thing to me. It's just me working on my shit.
Exactly. Like I have.
So don't make it awkward.
Just don't make it awkward. You can tell we're speaking by experience. Don't make it awkward, because I don't have ill feelings toward anyone at all. And if I do, you've done something to me. You know what you've done to me. There's no what have I should. But people have that. That's their insecurities they need to work on.
It is, and that's okay. I mean, by us saying that might help somebody realize, oh God,
I'm that person. I need to work on it.
I didn't even realize I was doing that.
Yeah.
So that's why we do what we do.
Exactly. We're changing the fucking world.
That's right.
We are our tribe is coming in closer and closer. The sanctuaries are expanding.
Ooh, yeah, we didn't talk about that either.
No, we haven't.
Yeah,
so you guys know we have the indoor sanctuary here at my house, and we have an outdoor sanctuary at my house. So now
we're getting ready to have another additional, hopefully indoor/outdoor sanctuary over at my place.
Yeah.
I'm in the process. Well, we are in the process with our little soul group that is migrated to the sanctuaries, getting ready to clear out some land, and I'm going to get one of those tiny houses and bring it in and set up a nice little sanctuary there so we can continue the love.
Yes. So if you guys would like to help fund our sanctuaries in any way, shape, or form, you can definitely PayPal.
Facebook money.
If you guys want to reach out and just ask.
Just give us a shout, because any little bit would be appreciated.
Yeah, and check out Appalachian Roots, because all that money goes back into the sanctuaries.
We're working hard to change the world. We got to get that new world vibe in the full swing of things so we can vibe up out of here.
Yeah, I do want to talk about something. So here's been a synchronicity for us lately over the past, I say month. So we keep exposing, and it's picked up lately. because it's been more often, but we have people coming to us with the fear of war, and everybody's been prepping and they're trying to tell us that we need, what we need to do and if we're stocking up on things and all that. So to be honest, we don't watch the news anymore at all. So we don't know what's going on out there. We have a good indication of what is, but we don't really give a shit.
Yep.
And that sounds heartless, but the thing about it is, guys, this is fear.
Yes.
So mind yourself on that right now. Check your energy.
Yeah, because you cannot let that fear define you.
Yeah, you can be prepared.
It will totally. It will eat up your whole world if you let it.
Yeah.
But it's perfectly okay to be prepared.
Yeah.
In fact, I encourage you to be prepared.
Absolutely. We talked about this.
Weather the storm if we have to, so to speak.
Yep.
However, you cannot allow those emotions to rule your life.
No.
Because fear is layer upon layer
Yes.
upon layer upon layer that you have to heal, and
Yep.
that's one of the fears.
Yep.
Fear will run your life if you allow it to.
It will. So
Until you stand up and you face that fear and deal with it head on, you're going to continue to let it eat at you.
it will drive you nuts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Eat
So-
you.
Eat you. It will eat you up. It'll eat you up.
It's just going to eat you. But yeah.
But I just wanted to mention that because it's been synchronicity around us lately.
It
Now,
has
if you
been.
guys remember and have been following us for some time, I know you, Tyrene and Sandy, will get this.
Yeah.
Is a channel from over a year ago. It was last year, wasn't it?
Yeah. Or
Within the next 2 years, or a year before. Hell, everything meshes together anymore.
It does.
But we knew something big was coming. We didn't know what it was going to be. We thought it was maybe COVID. Don't think that anymore, and I still don't think it may be what's happening in the world today in the news.
Yeah.
But Spirit is sending out messages very loud and clear through channels that we will be more in the community setting, that we need to be prepared, that we need to learn all we can.
Yes.
And what did we need to learn? We need to learn our herbs, our medicines, all the things that you depend on the government or your outside sources there, like hospitals, medicines, doctors. You
Yeah,
need
food,
to,
yeah.
Food. Your resources, you need to check those and alternative ways of doing that.
Yeah.
But Spirit's been teaching that for a long time, but nobody's been listening. So if you see holistic people who are eating a certain way, veganism, whole food, plant-based, they know something.
Yeah.
They feel it. They don't know why they feel compelled to go into that lifestyle. It's because they are trying to heal their bodies. It's a way of healing our bodies. Now, we know how hard that is because financially, if you're like me, I depend on the food bank and whatever comes my way. The money that comes in, you have to go to the grocery store and about can't buy nothing,
I know.
because everything's so fucking expensive.
Right.
So again, there we're depending on stores for our products, right?
Yeah.
It's an eerie thought because I had talked about going through Walmart and just walking through. It's not like that anymore because everything's so busy. I don't know if anybody else is
Oh my
realizing
God,
it's so
the
busy out.
busyness is ugh.
But before that, it was like walking into some kind of weird warehouse of some, I don't know, it was just weird. to me.
Yeah, and
Under
then you saw the
prices.
weirdest people too,
Yeah,
like people that are
weird.
not indigenous to the area.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
But also, I do know that a lot of people are moving into the
They are.
mountains.
We've gotten a lot of new. It's an influx. People
is.
are wanting to get away from society,
Cities,
man. Yeah.
Yeah, there's more because guess what? Like we have new people that come into our lives that said this is what we're working toward.
Yeah.
and we're
it's
like
the same damn thing.
Yeah, and I'm like, well, that's what
how
we
many
do,
groups
man.
of people have approached us?
A
I'd say
lot.
at least 5 groups of people are doing
Yeah.
the exact same thing in different ways.
Yeah, so we're all connecting on some level,
That's no coincidence
No,
either.
hell no, it ain't.
You gotta
So
listen
feel
to
that.
signs from the universe.
Yeah.
And speaking of signs of the universe, there's some crazy shit going down in my personal life right now.
Ooh.
But we're gonna ride it out and see what
Yeah,
happens.
There's some healing in that too.
There is some healing in that, absolutely.
Oh god damn, you scared the shit out of me. Whew. Okay, we can totally
Yeah,
end the session
let's
if you
do
want.
it.
Bye. Peace out.
Peace out.